Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtime with Downstar, episode 224. And today we are here with Erik from Action Clutch.
Hello.
Erik, what's up, bro?
Oh, I like that. Is that like game on,
Hit
ready?
it, bro. You can hit it. Let's do it.
We're ready.
Hell yeah.
We're ready.
Glad to have you back, bro. So the last time we had you here in the studio was episode 118. So it was over 100 episodes ago, man. What's life been like in 100 episodes?
A whole ass year. So a lot of people might wonder like what has happened in a year or how you can basically transform your life in a year.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've been in a pandemic. So I feel like two things happen. You either got depressed and you really don't know what you're doing and the pandemic just hit you, or two, you transformed yourself. For me, I feel like it was best of both worlds simply because I went through a breakup. I went through growth within the business. I went through a whole like rebirth and a lot of relationships that I kind of had to like relinquish in order for me to grow as a person. So I since the last time I was here, I remember saying like that I'm working on myself.
Yeah.
I have my mentor who I still see to this day. And unfortunately, I wasn't, I relapsed. But now I'm back, 7 months sober and stuff. So
congrats, man.
thank you. And I feel better than ever, so I feel like the whole rebirth. I'm 26 years old, and I feel like last year has been a year of just pushing forward, and finally dedicating time to myself and doing the stuff that I really love,
Yeah. So what was the big sign that you had to start to, I don't want to say work on yourself, like give to yourself?
I feel like the big sign came from waking up every morning and thinking, why should I continue this day? Waking up and feeling like hella depressed. Waking up and feeling, because we have a successful business going on.
Yeah.
And people might wonder like, well, you got this successful business going on. Like, why aren't you happy? And it's like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you're making. It doesn't matter how successful your business is. If you're not like happy within, then it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't love yourself, if you don't treat your relationships right, if you're not happy with yourself, if you don't have confidence, all this stuff, at the end of the day, that money doesn't buy that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy how like people from the outside who've never lived that entrepreneur life, how they just think that, 1 + 1 = 2. Like, well, you have the business. Like, why are you upset? It's like those don't even equate to each other.
Right.
And it's just, and for me, sometimes, when I feel down on myself, like I always feel like I really don't even have anybody that I could talk to, because anybody that I talk to, they're going to say the same thing. Well, you have a successful business. Like, what's wrong? Like, that's not the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
That's just because that's successful doesn't mean everything else in my life is going to be successful.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like people at times, they don't. I was just talking about this with my mentor. I've been doing this whole clutch stuff for the past 9 years.
Okay.
And these past 9 years, I've given all my time to it, all my energy. It's always been about the business. It's always been about, no, we need to like build a company. We need to like blow it up. It needs to be successful. We need to make more sales. We need to do this and that. So imagine nine years of just doing that. There wasn't any time in between that I was like, wait, but what about me? There wasn't any time like What about my relationships?
Yeah.
What about dedicating time to myself? Finally, it was always like, no, the business, the business, the business. So I feel like now that this past year I've been just dedicating time to myself, I'm actually able to think more clear, be more creative for the business.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like it works out in my favor, you know, because at the same time I feel great, I feel good, I feel happy, I feel peaceful, and that allows me to put everything I can into the business, you know, but in a whole balanced way.
Yeah. So what were some of the signs that you realized that you needed a change? Because maybe there's people listening right now that are in the same position as you, but they're just not recognizing the signs like you recognize them.
Yeah. My signs were addiction to drugs and alcohol. So what was happening was I would work hard Monday through Friday. Friday through Sunday, I'd party. So when Friday would come, it would be like, okay, fuck, I've worked 12-hour days, 14-hour days. You know, sometimes I remember working like 18-hour days sometimes, you know. I would just get home, I'd eat something and jump back on my computer. So I feel like when Friday came, I need something to escape, you know. So I would drink, I would do drugs, I would go out, and that was always like my escapism. And so it came to a point where I was feeling like shit. I was like even more depressed for like the next 3-4 days. So that's when I realized, like, holy shit, I'm like deep in this hole. How do I get out?
Yeah.
You know, and so that's when I started seeing my mentor, and I started just focusing on myself and trying to find ways to make myself feel better. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what you say, what anybody else can say. If you don't make the choice that you want to change, you're not going to change.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't force someone to change. You know, they got to want to change. And for those that feel like I want to change, but it's like, I don't know how, or like, I don't know what to do. The only thing I can say is continue to dig deeper. You know, like ask yourself the questions. Why do you want to change? What do you feel? Do you wake up every day doing what you love? Do you wake up every day feeling like shit? Why do you feel like shit? You know, so when you start digging in deeper inward, that's when I feel like you start getting the questions, and you finally make the choice like, yeah, I need to change now.
Now, these times that you were working all these long hours and then the weekends, that was your release. Were you tricking yourself in saying like, I worked all this time, like I need this. I need this relaxing time. And like justifying it?
Yeah. I think I was. I mean, subconsciously I was, because, I mean, why else would I just go to the limit, you know, and more, you know? So for sure I was justifying it with like, well, I'm over here like building this company. We're like blowing up. Yeah, I can go out and have 2 days of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all detrimental. It was all detrimental to me. So it became you just fall deep into this shit. You know, you're deep into this shit, and you can have all the success, but if you're deep in this shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't matter. Like, do you want to see your kids do you want your kids to see you like this? You know, like that's not an example.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, definitely.
So when you decided to make this life change, and you realized that it was going to change the people around you, like your whole entire life was going to change, not just you?
Dude, I was talking to Lupe about this, and I was talking to my dad about this too. elevating yourself, this whole rebirth, it's like opening up this box of greatness, of good, of awareness, just a box of life, right? That is so hard to go back to your old ways. Mm-hmm. It's so hard, to be that asshole that you were because homeboy over here, he like crossed you or something, because that happened to me recently. And like, I was just thinking about like, just what can I do to get him back?
Yeah.
But I couldn't, bro. I just, I was just like, you know what? The universe will handle that, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it as is and continue going forward, because if I do something, or if I like try to find a way to get him back, I know that when I go home, when I go to sleep, I'm going to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be thinking about anything that just makes me feel a little sense of discomfort. Like, bro, we're older now, you know what I mean? Like, all this stuff that people do, like all the toxic shit, like the bad stuff, the hating, the shit talking, especially on social media, is something that like, that's just pointless.
Yeah.
All that's doing is just feeding your ego.
Yeah.
What are you going to get out of that? You're just going to get like a little sense of pleasure because you call this person a bitch on social media.
Yeah.
Not even in person.
Well, let's take it back, because when we had you on the podcast the first time, like I said before when we were out on the vlog, make sure you guys check out the vlog, youtube.com/Downstar Inc.
I like that.
But when we had you on the pod the first time, transparency, we had never really done business before because of the things that I've seen on social media. The way that the Action Clutch, you would handle situations. It seemed like you were always in the mix of something, which was around the time that I was going through my changes, mm-hmm. and I had to stay away from that sort of energy, So when I had you on the podcast, it was more of me being curious of this guy. Hey, let me have this company on. I didn't know how it was even going to be received at that time. Let me have this guy on. Let me see what he's all about, And then after we sat down, it's like, I really like this dude. I can see the journey that he's on, and I know why he's doing the things that he's doing. Now, in hindsight, looking back at those times when I don't even think of it like a specific thing that happened. It was just everything together. What was your headspace like in those times, and what was your reasoning, and what were you looking for, like the outcome of that?
At the time, I had a lot of ego and pride. So I feel like that played a big culprit for sure. And I look back at these times, and I look back at the people that would bash our product, and I look back at why they would bash the product, and it was like, it wasn't even about the product, it was about the cranks,
mm-hmm. That's what it was.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's crazy how a person has an influence, and they're influencing the wrong thing, mm-hmm. and that's just like a spiral effect. Everybody's, oh yeah, it's the clutch. It's like, it's like, how, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I look back at it, and I'm just like, what I was trying to do is I was just trying to defend the name, because I know what we put out. I know the kind of quality that we build. I know the stuff that the rest of our competitors are doing, calling some items what they really aren't. So that was me trying to like defend the product and really try to tell these people like, yo, it's you guys are taking all this information from someone who doesn't really know what's going on, and that it's not even the clutch. You know, so it's hard to go up against that. You know, it's hard to go up against that because you're going up against people who've been in the game for years, you know, and anything they say, people praise.
Yeah.
So, after a while, I was just like, wow, like I took a step back, and with me evolving too as a person, I took a step back and I was just noticing how this fucking game is toxic. Like, this industry is so fucking toxic. Like, it's insane. You know, it's insane, bro. And I told myself, I'm like, you know, I'm working on myself. I'm becoming a better person. I'm starting to put me before anything else. Do I really want to be part of this toxic game? You know, and so I made the decision, like, I don't give a fuck if our clutch ain't in Marsh's car, Sonic's car, Brionto's car. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a peace of mind knowing that other people, aspiring racers, are using our product than the people who are just in it for themselves.
Got you. So,
yeah, I told myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be wanting to get clout off of these people who in reality they don't give a fuck about your brand.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I work with Aki still. Because man, what he's doing is he's providing real value to the industry.
Yeah.
Whether people hate on him or not, I know him person to person. You know, I talk to him. We're on a different level. And so I know what he's doing. You know, I know the value he's bringing. Those are the kind of people that I want to work with, that I am working with.
Yeah.
And it came down to me really deciding, like, it goes back to the whole balance thing, right? It came back to me deciding, pursue these fake people that don't support your brand, make more money, or pursue genuine people who care about your brand, make less money, but be content. Not even content. Be at peace.
Yeah.
And be happy. Fuck that. I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't want to deal with all these phony ass people anymore. You know? So I pick and choose who I want to work with now.
I feel you, dude. I feel you on everything that you're saying. And we were talking out there, and I'm glad that you're on the same level as I am, so I can actually we could like throw this ideas back and forth, you know, because when it comes out, when I say it, it really makes me sound like I don't care about I don't care about like the cars. Like, I'm just selling parts to these people and I don't want nothing to do with them. But it's not. It's this community, if anybody wants to admit it or not, is toxic. And the reason it's so toxic is because it's fueled with ego and pride, which is kind of a big part of the automotive community. What you need, you know, you kind of need that, but to a certain extent. You need to have that pride. You need to have the pride for your car, that you want your car to be the best that it can. You know, you want to have the best stuff that you can so it could go the fastest or whatever. But then there's like that fine line that you walk where somebody has something bad happens to their car and like the whole community attacks them. Like, what the fuck is that about, dude? You know, and you wake up and your mentions are just blowing up. Yeah. Because of some stupid shit that some dude that's like doesn't even realize what's really going on said something, and some people follow that person, so like, oh well, he must be right. Right. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at that person or the community, because that's just what it is. I'm just gonna be over here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do whatever you're gonna do. I'll be over here.
Yeah.
Like, you think of this as a highway. I'm on my own road, bro. Like, if you guys want to be on the 405, honking at each other, flipping each other off,
I like that.
that's all good, bro. Do what you're gonna do. Anybody that's in the community, bro, do what you guys are gonna fucking do. I don't give a shit. You know, you want to copy our shit. I don't care, dude. Do whatever you want to do, because I'm me, and people are gonna come to us because of what we represent.
Right.
And what I want to represent, it's like you said, elevation. You know, people have seen my brand grow from the bottom to what it is now. It's been totally transparent. We've seen the shit that we've gone through, and they see where I'm at now, and the spot that I'm at now. It's like, oh, that happened. Oh, that's crazy, bro. So, anyways, you know, like I don't have nothing to say about it. I don't have a dog in the race. That's cool, bro. Do whatever you guys are gonna do. I kind of feel like it's something that everybody goes into. You know, when you had your first car, you were on sleeves, you know, and it's just lowered, and the car's driving like shit. You have the air freshener, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm fucking stoked on this, right?
Right.
And you elevate. There's another level above the highest level in our community, and that's where I'm at now. Not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm saying that I don't look at anybody else in our community as somebody that, I aspire to be. I aspire to be people outside of our community.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where I'm at now. And if that angers people, like, I apologize. But the way that I was doing things before, it didn't bring me happiness.
Exactly.
You know, to be able to disrespect somebody online and get 100 people tagging that person and hating on them, like, that doesn't bring me joy anymore. It used to bring me joy, but the person that it bring joy was a very toxic and ego-driven person. That's who I was. And that's who I was raised to be. The culture that I was raised in, the people that I surrounded myself around, that was the thing.
Right.
And it's like, and I say about people copying our stuff, you know, like, first of all, it's not the product. It's me. It's the company. It's the name. That's what it is. It's not the product. Copy the product. It's all good. Whatever. You're not me, you know? So when brands would pop up and they would kind of have similar products, like, dude, it would be on Army, you know,
right.
we're going to war, dude.
Yeah.
But for what, dude? Like, these people don't intimidate me. They're not making me afraid of, oh shit, I'm gonna lose money now. Like, I've seen so many brands come and go, and our brand just keeps growing. So do what you guys are gonna do, because the way that I look at it now, the way that I justify it, because I still have those feelings inside. I've just got to tame them. The feelings that I have, I change them. My ego is in a different place now. So my ego is like, look, that person is making a living off of something that I created. I inspired that person. Now that person is an inspiration to their family. That person has a kid. They have a wife. They have parents. They have friends around them that are all inspired by that person. Now, if I inspire that person to come up with their company or sell a certain product or what have you, like, I take that as an accomplishment.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, his parents, whoever it is, look at him like, man, my kid's doing great. You know, not knowing that the way that they're doing things is like, I'm not even going to say a bad way, because it's business. You know, that's why people say, hey, it's just business.
Yeah, right.
It's just business, dude. If they decided to ride our wave, so be it, dude. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, all I would like is, you know, hey, bro, you inspired me. But you don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah.
I already know that I did. But there's no like beef anymore. I'm above that now. You know, I wish everybody the best, and I wish that they all can be an inspiration to the people in their circle, because, like, at the end of the day, what do we want to do? We want to inspire people to be their better selves and we look to people that inspire us to be our better selves. And that's kind of the way that I've been navigating since probably like, you know, the last 3 years or so.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. That's the realest shit I've heard.
Thank you.
For sure, dude. That's the realest shit I've heard, because you can see the perspective, you know, from a person who's toxic that could have just been like, fuck this person, they copied us, blah blah blah, versus what you just said right now, evolved. Like, you inspired someone who copied you, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I feel like going back to the community, right, to the whole industry. People are ego driven, wanna build their car and be the fastest, right? However, I feel like, you know, for whoever's listening to this and is building their car and they want to be faster because your homie's faster, or because you see the people that are the fastest, you aspire to like beat them. I feel like really, 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 really think about why you're building your car. I feel like you have to do this for yourself. You know what I mean? Because I think about like the people that are over here in the West Coast and that are racing and stuff like that. Because you have some toxic people, you know, and then you have those that like have been in the game for a while and they race now. But in the East Coast, I feel like that's where more of like the beef comes from.
Yeah.
You know, so you think, you know, you have these people building these cars and they're trying to go as fast as they can so they can beat these people, because these people that build engines don't like this other company that builds engines.
Yeah.
And it's like they're building these cars and putting all this fucking money into their car to go faster to beat someone you don't like, while wasting all your money into your car and at the end still not being happy.
And you're doing it for somebody that you don't even like.
And you're doing it for, so technically you're wasting all your fucking money building this car for someone you don't like. Like, if you think about it, it's a mind fuck. If you think about it, it's a true testament to how bad this sport has ego-driven people.
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, you reach a point, a certain level where you just elevate. You know, you elevate because, man, dude, you know, I'm thinking about when I used to just clap back at people on social media and stuff like that. And I'm just like, fuck, now someone says something about our brand or like our product or whatever, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
I ignore it because the parts talk to me. You know, when we see, when our tech or our customer, you know, service, shout out to Byron, when Byron gets an email saying, hey, this product is defective, I need a refund, the first thing we ask, can we see the product? So people, when we ask, can we see the product, it's not because we want to see the product. It's because what the product does, it talks to us, it speaks to us. It's a clutch. The only way you can fuck up a clutch is if you burn it or if you over abuse it. Mm-hmm. You know? And if a clutch actually fails, we'll replace it. But majority of the time, people they don't understand this. You know, they feel like, again, we go back to ego and pride, right? Own up to your mistake. If you burned it, if it fucked up, if I'm here telling you why this happened, if I'm telling you this happens because this type of driving was happening or because this wasn't torqued correctly, I'm not here to lie to you. Your sale isn't going to make me rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, your specific sale isn't going to make me rich.
Yeah.
And so our failure rate is so low But when it does happen, okay, we warranty the product, you know? So it's one of those things where like, where I'm just at a point where, again, more money isn't going to make me happy. People rocking our brand, people supporting our brand, people racing with our clutch in their car and stuff like that is what makes me happy. You know, so I feel like there are companies out there that are doing it just for the dollar.
Yeah.
You don't see other clutch brands coming to a podcast to talk. You know, you don't see that. So my message to the people that have doubt in wanting to rock our product, look at the brand, look at the people.
Yeah.
Look at the people building the clutches. You know, don't look at so and so's Instagram and see a bash post on there. You don't look at that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're ready. We got to take our first break for our sponsor, Heel Toe Auto. An important part in buying Honda parts online is making sure that you can trust the company that you're dealing with to get you the right parts reliably. You're spending a lot of money and spending a lot of time researching your build. The last thing that you want to do is send cash to a website where you may never see it again, and worse yet, never see the parts. Guys, I'm sure that some of you have went through this, and you might be going through it right now. There's a lot of companies online that will just take your money and not ship you the stuff and then blame it on the company and say, oh man, they're on back order, and just play with your money, play with your emotions. And it's whack when they do that, man. Heel Toe won't do that because they have 18-year history track record in the Honda community, and that's part of the deal. Heel Toe brings you deep industry connections, professional part recommendations, alternative ideas when your parts aren't available, and they'll even contact you if something looks out of the ordinary before it ships. That's so good, man, because it takes somebody that knows what you're ordering, what you're trying to do, and say, hey, this dude's profile, because you can make your own profile on there. This dude profile, it says an EG, but he just ordered TSX suspension. So let me call him up, and maybe he just doesn't know what he's doing, and they'll take care of that for you, man. Heel Toe's unique checkout allows you to select a deadline to receive your parts to make sure that you get them right in time for your project plans. That's huge too, because I have people who call me all the time, hey man, I need a bulk kit, I need to get it done, and I need to have it done by Wednesday. I'm like, bro, it's Tuesday, Wednesday's tomorrow, what do you want me to do, teleport over there? I could if I would, but I can't, so I won't, bro. But maybe Marcus can. He's been around longer than I have, so maybe he knows something that I don't. He knows those like those tunnels from the Mario Kart, drop off the parts for you. But anyway, you can buy parts anywhere online, but Heel Toe knows what truly matters to an enthusiast: professionalism, swiftness, accuracy, and likes on Instagram. Just kidding, I put that. But Heel Toe is in your corner. Make sure you guys check them out at heeltoeauto.com, or you can call or text them at 949-295-1668. And please check them out on Instagram at Heel Toe Automotive. And please just shoot them a DM and tell them, dude, I heard you guys on Downtime with Downstar. Sick, bro. Thank you guys for supporting them, because without them, I wouldn't do this shit no more. If it wasn't for Heel Toe, if it wasn't for Marcus, I'll say, bro, fuck this podcast. I'm outro. Now back to the pod. When you get to that level of elevation and you start to see things for what they are, you start to even see these people that post these things, like that start off with the bash post. I look at them differently now. I look at if I would ever even be in a situation where we would exchange goods or communicate or whatever, because this is how this person handles conflict. I have conflict all the time and nobody would know about it because I handle it a certain way, whether it's with a customer or, you know, a problem with somebody or whatever. Dude, let's talk about it.
Exactly.
You didn't fuck my wife. Let's talk about it, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Hit me up, FaceTime, let's talk about it.
Right.
You know? And that's why I fuck with Aki, because we've had problems in the past. FaceTime, cussing at each other. By the end of that FaceTime, hey, it's all good, bro. Much love. And then fucking rock from there. You know, that you have to be able to have that communication. But for if somebody has an issue with us and the first thing that they go to social media is like, I'm not going to clout you, dog. you serious? I'm not gonna show people that you are at the same level as me, because you're already starting to go down this negative path and you didn't even reach out to me to talk about things. I'm a fucking cool guy, bro. And if you interpreted something that I said wrong, or I did something that offended you or made you feel a certain way, I'll apologize. I don't want to make anybody feel bad. We'll straighten it out and go from there. You know, and I haven't been in these situations for years, dude, and I absolutely love it. But I do see these issues happen online with people that I do respect or did respect, and I'm just like, I can't fuck with that person anymore. Which makes me think, like when we talked before, like what I was saying when I invited you on the pod, I was like, I don't know if I want to fuck with this guy. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. And I'm glad that I did, you know?
Yeah,
I'm glad that I did, because we've been able to build a friendship and I've seen your growth from there. But then I think like, man, when I was wilding out, dude, like how many opportunities did I fuck myself out of?
Right.
How many people won't fuck with me now because of the way that I used to handle things back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
And just hoping that they have some sort of compassion to be able to realize that, you know, this dude, he's working on himself. Mm-hmm. Erik's working on himself.
Appreciate that.
This isn't the action clutch from, 2018 or what have you. He's working on himself. Are you working on yourself?
Yeah.
Because if you're condemning somebody for something that they did back in the day and not realizing that their growth that they're going through, like, what does that actually say about you? You know, and sometimes when I'll see things going down in the community and see people getting bashed or what have you, I just feel like this person that's doing the bashing, I can relate to them so much because I was that person, and I feel bad for them because they still have so much growth. Mm-hmm. And when you have that clout behind you and you have all these yes men behind you, that's just sending you so much further away from you growing, because you don't even think you have an issue. You don't think you have an issue because no one's telling you have an issue. You don't have an OG that's like, hey, bro, that probably wasn't the best thing to do, And I didn't have anybody that reached out to me that said like, yo, bro, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. They just stood back and watched, and it's all good. I don't blame anybody because it's me. I was doing it, but I have to be the change that I want to see. Mm-hmm. So if I see somebody out there that is navigating in a way that I see is going down a bad path, the least I can do is just throw my opinion. Hey, bro, I mean, maybe just look at things this sort of way. Like, is this worth it? Because who knows if that would have helped me get to this point quicker.
Right.
Instead of everybody just standing back and watching and laughing behind the scenes and tagging their friends and sending texts and group texts and shit like that. Like, maybe the community needs more people like us who have been through the shit and that are trying to work on themselves. Mm-hmm. And if anybody's trying to work on themselves, it's like, bro, I wish you the best. I'm not going to shit on you. I'm not going to shit on anybody, dude.
Right.
Because of me, not because of them, because of me. I don't want that energy around. But if I see somebody working on themselves, and it's obvious that you've been working on yourself, you could see from your social media, you could listen to the last podcast to this podcast, see how much your mentality has grown in that. Like, if somebody's trying to change, you got to give them that opportunity. And on the other side, if somebody that I had problems with in the past, if I see them kind of changing, nobody fucked my wife. Mm-hmm. It's all good, bro. I wish you the best. Now, are we going to be best friends? Probably not, because like I'm not even best friends with my old best friends.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So it's like, I hope everybody gets to that point. And I really hope that the community gets to that point. But I'm not going to wait around, and I'm not going to be the ambassador to, hey, everybody, let's go. I'm on my own path right now, and I wish you guys all the fucking best.
Yeah.
You know?
No, the way I see that is like you were saying earlier about staying in your own lane. You know, and if like, hey, you know, you see people on the 405 in the traffic flipping each other off, honking at each other, and you see me on this freeway, just, you know, minding my own business, and you want to jump on this freeway because you're like, holy fuck, I don't want to be in the 405. This shit's shitty.
Yeah.
Then, yo, jump on this freeway.
Let's roll.
You know, and I'm not going to be like, nah, I don't want you over here. Because at the end of the day, like, that's what it's all about. If you see someone that, like you said, and I appreciate you for that, when you see someone that's wanting to change, like truly, genuinely wanting to change, the worst thing that you can do to someone is shit on them. That's the worst thing. It could be your family, your friends, your closest friends.
Yeah.
And sad. It's sad, but it's the truth. And that's what happens most of the time. It's like your closest people. They shit on your change, you know, and it's like, you know, with some relationships that I have now, I had to really let them know that, like, hey, I'm working on myself. What you say sometimes really gets to me.
Yeah.
You know, what you say really fucking like makes me want to go back to my old ways. And sometimes I get caught slipping.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I do react. Sometimes I do cuss at them. But then right after, I'm like, fuck, okay. I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel that way anymore. You know, it was the same thing with the drugs and alcohol. I would do the drugs and alcohol. The next 3-4 days, I would just feel like shit. And when you start elevating yourself, when you start becoming more conscious about things, the last thing you want to do is not feel like yourself. You know, so the last time I relapsed, I was just like, nah, like I want to be me. I want to feel like me. Like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. You know, it makes me feel like shit. So that kind of like, you know, pushed me to just wanting to become sober, and wanting to become sober has forced me to face my insecurities. It's forced me to go out and face my anxieties, because, you know, let's be real, I'd go out, get drunk, talk to people, and that's how I would build connections. You know, but now it's like, I'm not drunk anymore, I'm not on drugs anymore, I have to like face this shit, you know, sober.
Yeah.
So it's an unknown place, but the more you do it, the more you get comfortable. That's how you build real confidence too. You know, because I asked some people, okay, you talk to all these girls, right? You're buzzed, drunk, whatever. Can you do that sober? Oh, fuck. I don't think so. So what world are you living in?
Yeah.
You know, like, this is all just an illusion for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got game, but only when you're on substances.
Yeah.
What about when you're sober? You don't have game. So it's like, do you really have confidence, or is it fake confidence? So that was like my situation. That's my situation. It's like, can I do this or can I not?
That's so funny you say that, right? Because when you have ego, dude, it's like it doesn't go away. You kind of got to figure out a different way to navigate with your ego, right?
Right.
So I learned this back in 2010. In 2010, November 2010, I quit drinking, and I haven't drank since then. You know, same thing. I got to drink, loosen up so I could talk to people. So then I looked at it with an ego, right? Like, dude, you're a bitch, dog. You can't even do that without like drinking. You can't talk to these people. You're such a bitch, dude. You know, what do you think? You know, so you switch the ego around to like look at yourself bad. You look at the bad things about you as like, you know, negative parts. And then I switched my ego around to like, I don't need this alcohol. I don't need alcohol to be fun. I don't need alcohol to talk to bitches.
Yeah.
I don't need alcohol to go fucking have fun, have a good night. I could be sober and do that. Because I'm me. I could do that.
Yeah.
That's my ego talking. But I switched it around to make my ego work in a positive way instead of a negative way. Because I could have easily switched that around to be like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do. And plus everybody else in here is fucked up.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
You know? Because it's so easy to just justify it. Because everybody that you're with is on the same path as you. So it's so easy to say like, why is this not the right path? Everybody else is on this path, you know, but you have to look at yourself and you have to stop and just like, since everybody else is doing it, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Does this make me feel good? Do I feel good in the morning? Does my wallet feel good in the morning? Does this girl next to me even look good in the morning? Like what's really good, you know? So I switched my mentality around and I just said like, you know, I'm not drinking anymore. Let me try it for a week. Oh, it was cool, man. I went out to the club. I still had a good time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Once you get to a month, you're like, oh shit, let's keep going. Let's see if I can go one more month. And you get to a year and you're like, dude, I don't even miss it at all. And
Sick.
you know, fast forward whatever 11 years, however long it's been.
Fuck,
it's like,
that's sick, bro.
I'm never gonna have a drink again in my life. For what? I'm me still. Take me to the club right now. Me and my wife are still gonna have a good time. I'm not there just like, oh my god, are they look? I'm me, bro. You know,
Yeah.
you got to find that confidence inside you, and that's the way that I kind of navigate around everything that I see as an issue in my life. Like, bro, you really need that to be yourself. You know, so you have the angel and the devil on your shoulders, and you gotta look at the devil like a bitch, bro. You know, and no matter how anybody else feels about whatever you're doing, because I'm sure that the friends you were hanging out with, are like, bro, you don't have a problem. You have a successful business. You need this time to relax.
100%.
Those are the people that are trying to they're trying to pull you back, dog. You gotta be strong for yourself.
Oh yeah. I feel like what has helped a lot is knowing why I was doing it. You know, it all really stems down from like also trauma from your childhood.
Yes.
You know, because the feeling you get from the euphoria that you get from like the drugs and the alcohol, you know, that dopamine hit, like the feel good feeling, that's the feeling that you've always longed for, that you never got in your childhood days from relationships, from your family, from friends, stuff like that. So what was happening was that my mind was addicted to like this feel good feeling that I was blind. Like I wasn't looking for this feel good feeling elsewhere. Exercise, eating, hiking, traveling, my relationships, how I can better them, finding genuine relationships, you know? So once I understood that, I was just like, yeah, I mean, this is not the way I want to go, you know? And two, like my main goal in life is to inspire people. I want to inspire people. That's all I want to do. Because I asked myself this like the last time, like, what's my purpose? You know, and I feel like this is a question that you don't have to know, but kind of like dig deeper into it. And your purpose isn't going to be the same purpose in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years. Right now, at the present moment, my purpose right now is to inspire people. Because I was that person that was addicted to substances, that was depressed, that had all this anxiety. I went into my cocoon. I'm transforming. I'm evolving. I'm coming out as a butterfly. I'm going through the work. I'm going through the process. You know, so a lot of people, they wanna evolve as well, but they don't know where to start. So I feel like my purpose right now is definitely to inspire people.
Yeah.
And I want to document all that, you know, because why not?
Yeah. I love it, dude. Because when you get to a point where you feel so good and you realize the things that you were doing, the what made you feel bad, you can pinpoint everything, and then you see somebody that you love that still hasn't realized that, like, you want to have them realize those things, and you want to help them realize those things. Sounds like you just want to make everybody feel happy and spread happiness.
Yeah, I just want to, just spread the love. You know what I mean? Because it's, bro, life, if you think about it, after I leave, you don't know if you're going to see me again. I don't know if I'm going to see you again. I don't know if I'm going to see anybody here again. So it's one of those things where, like, really understand that. You have to understand. You have to understand the life that you're living. In an instant, it could be taken away from you. You know, so I feel like once you start digging deeper into that, understanding what life is, understanding that this fucking person that makes you miserable shouldn't be in your life, because you deserve the best and you are whole without them, you start to think like, oh, I don't need to be fucking with this person that makes me miserable.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to put yourself first. Always. In any situation. But in the healthiest way.
Yeah.
Not like in a selfish way.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And that goes from relationships to friendships to family to customers to whatever. You know, if you're making me feel a certain way, you can't be around no more.
Yeah.
And that's not because I hate you. It's because we're just on different roads. And I can't allow you to make me feel this certain way, because I've worked so hard on myself to get to where I'm at. So no matter how hard it is, no matter how hard, like how many memories that we share together, I don't look back at those memories and regret them. But it stops right here. So that's the chapter. And we could both look back in our respective ways and just be like, oh, you know, that was cool when we did this. That was cool when we did that. I enjoy those memories, but I don't look at the memories I'm having now and like, damn, I wish that person was here with me, because I remember the way that person made me feel, and the way that person made me feel, whether it was they made me feel worthless or they made me feel like a bad person or what have you. Those feelings are much stronger than the good times that we had. You know, when you make somebody feel bad, they don't forget that.
Yeah.
No matter how many times that you've made them feel good before. When you do those things that make them feel bad, like, people don't forget about that.
Yeah.
So I try my hardest to never make anybody feel bad. Whether it's somebody the closest to me or a stranger, I don't even know. I've talked about this so many times on the podcast. Every time I interact with somebody, I ask them, how are they doing? When it's Starbucks. Hey, Starbucks, how may I help you? Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm great. Can I get this? That's it. I do that every single time, because that person, who knows how they feel? Maybe they feel like a cog in the machine and they don't even feel like a human. You know, when somebody trips them up and like, whoa, this person actually asked me how I feel. You know, I went to, I don't know if you guys have in LA, Vallarta, the grocery stores.
Yeah. I think we have one. I don't know. Yeah. But we do have some.
So I went to Vallarta one time, and the lady that was ringing me up, she's just in the zone. Just, I was like, hey, how are you? And she's like, boom, snapped out of it. And she's like, oh, I'm good. And then she's like, you know, nobody's ever asked me that. I was like,
wow.
What do you mean?
Wow.
You know, and that's such a fucked up thing. Like, none of these customers ask this person how they're doing. Like, this is not just somebody that this is a human that's here. And you look at this person has a family. And would you want to work at a grocery store? I wouldn't want to work at a grocery store. So they're doing something every day that I wouldn't want to do. Probably waking up at shitty ass times. And no matter who it is that works at the grocery store, even if it's the GM, I don't even think the GM wants to work there. So they're working for somebody who's working for somebody who's working for somebody who's working for someone who doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
That everybody doesn't want to be in that situation of their life that they're in. And you're going to go in there and shit on them even more? Okay, they got the meal wrong. Whatever. Have you got orders wrong?
Yeah.
I've got orders wrong.
Yeah, of course.
You know? Like, I want people to treat me with that same respect.
Ah, dude, yes.
So I'm going to treat
Yes.
them with the same respect. You know, so everybody listening, like, just think about it from that perspective. Maybe it's not the grocery store. Maybe you got the wrong clutch. Is the first thing that you're going to do open the box, wrong clutch, take a picture, fuck Action Clutch. They sent me the wrong fucking clutch. Now I'm not going to make this fucking race. Fuck them. Or are you going to reach out to them? Hey guys, I think I might have got the wrong clutch. Is there something we could do about this? Two different ways of handling that situation. And it's probably going to be a lot better if you take the second approach to it. Maybe the overnight your clutch. Hey, I actually know somebody that's going to that race. I'll send them over one to you, or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take another break for our sponsor, Action Clutch. One of the most critical parts to any build is the clutch. Without a proper clutch, you won't be able to get that power to the wheels. No one wants to spend hundreds of dollars on a clutch that won't hold their power for more than a few races or spirited drives. That's why it's important to go with a kit that you know you can count on, and that's why many people choose Action Clutch over the competition. Action Clutch makes kits here in the USA with material sourced locally in Los Angeles. Action Clutch has kits from OEM replacements all the way to 1200 plus horsepower and can be found everywhere from street cars to drag cars to even Formula Drift vehicles. Not only are they made in the USA, but Action Clutch has made a strong focus this year to give back a percentage of sales to the community during these hard times, providing impacted families with groceries and other necessities. Big shout out to you guys for that, man, for giving back to the community. Not many people do that. Action Clutch does, and I love that. And that's why we're super excited to be aligned with them. So if you guys need anything from them, you could always contact them at actionclutch.com. And if you don't see what you need, you can always give them a call at 323-269-6051, or you can shoot them a DM on Instagram at actionclutch, or you can email them if you want to do that, sales at actionclutch.com. And if you do need something, make sure you use the code DTWD for 15% off. Big shout out to Action Clutch. Erik, that's my guy. He's on his hustle, man. And we're really lucky to have him in our community, man. Make sure you guys check out Erik. I forget his Instagram. I think it's Erik Nochez, ErikNoches. I hope that's correct, but you'll be able to find him from the Action Clutch Instagram. But they're killing it, man. Big shout out to Action Clutch. Thank you guys for sponsoring this episode of Downtime with Downstar and shit like 100 before this. And let's get back to the show, guys.
You know, this whole social norm of customers always right is bullshit. And I say it because fuck whoever created that saying.
Yeah.
Because in reality, like, at the end of the day, like, we're still humans. You're a human. I'm a human. I'm operating a business. You're a customer. My job is to please you as much as I can, right? And that's what we do. We provide the best customer service. But you see, I've always incorporated this whole customer service type attitude to where it feels still human to human.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel corporate like, or like, it doesn't feel like, oh, you know, the person you're talking to is a robot. Because at the end of the day, we're still human. And so I always dude, since the beginning, I always said, I'm not going to operate this business like a corporate. I'm going to make sure to always keep it family oriented, always homey, you know, and just like breaking the rules, you know, because I want people to feel a certain way about our brand.
Yeah.
when they rock it. You know, I don't want them to feel like, oh, I just purchased this clutch from, I don't even know who the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even know who touched it. I don't even know where it came from. All I know is that it just came from a box. You know, and like with our brand, it's like people see who's touching the product.
Yeah.
People see the face. They put a face behind the names. You know, so they know that it went through my hands. It went through my dad's hands, my cousin's hands. You know, Byron, everybody who works at the shop, they touched it. It gives you that human experience.
Yeah.
You know, because again, at the end of the day, we're human beings. You know, and sometimes people walk in or like they send you like, you know, this email, fuck action clutch, like you said, you know, because we've gotten like an email like that. You know, you guys sent me the wrong fucking parts. Like, you guys are a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Just, bro, like the wildest shit. And that's when I step in, you know. I reply back like what's going on? I understand like we sent you a wrong product and stuff like that. We'll fix it. We'll overnight it, whatever. But like I genuinely want to connect with this person and really see like, hey, what's going on, man? Like don't you know that I'm also a human being?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not a robot. Don't you know that I also got feelings?
Yeah.
You know, like the person you just talked all this shit to, don't you know that he has emotions too? Don't you know that words hurt? So it's shift your perspective on how you treat people, whether it's just normal people or people that fucked your order up. That can be fixed.
Yeah.
Now, if the person's being a bitch and, you know, doesn't reply back to your shit ever, then
whatever.
yeah, whatever. You know, that's why they're not, because there's some companies that I used to know of that they're not in business anymore, but they had the shittiest attitude, and they were just in the game just to make money. You know, we're in the game because we have passion for this. We love it. You know, so yeah, you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's like just step back, think about it, think about what you want to reply to these people. Be conscious of it.
Yeah, I've actually even messaged somebody before, like, yo, bro, you all right? Like, no, fuck you. I'm like, nah, bro, like, what's going on, dude? You could talk to me, bro. You know, how's everything with your life? Because you're not angry at me. I didn't do nothing to you. What's really going on, bro? And kind of try to get them to realize it themselves. Like, damn, this dude's right. I'm taking it out on this stranger, whatever I got going on. And I get it, bro. Sometimes I'll have bad days and I'll snap on my son. And I'm like, bro, you're taking that shit out on a fucking kid because he didn't take out the trash or whatever. Like, it's your fucking fault. You know, it just happened the other day. I yelled at him for something. And I'm just like, damn, bro, it's not his fault that you're having a bad day. Whatever he did, yeah, you're justified in getting mad because he didn't do what he was supposed to do or what have you. But, like, you didn't have to talk to him like that. So I can go talk to him. Hey, bro, I'm sorry that I yelled at you. You know, I'm having a bad day today. This stuff should have got taken care of, and you know that. But I don't have to be yelling at you, dude. I'm sorry. It's all right, Dad. You know? And he's like way more, he can deal with like just drop that wall like real quick.
Yeah.
Not like me. I still fucking hold a grudge even against a kid, dude. I will fuck up. I'm still mad, you know? But it's like, oh, it's okay, Dad. And he'll just give me a hug, and I'm like, bro, I'm so grateful to have a son like that can just, you know, accept my apology. And I have to keep myself in check. It's not his fault for the way that I'm feeling. Shit, It's my fault the way that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know, smoking late at night, eating like shit, not getting enough sleep, waking up in a fucking fog, waking up in a bad mood, and then having to deal with the nature of the beast. Business isn't beautiful. I have to deal with this shit, dealing with it all day. And not saying everything's negative, but
Right.
I'm putting out fires
Yeah.
every day. I'm putting out fires, and then who knows how his day was? Maybe his day was dope, dude. I went to school, saw some girls, hang out with my homies. I'm skating. I just learned a new trick. Oh, cool. My dad's home, and then I fucking shit on
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
And then I feel bad right now. It's not like I fucking hit him or disrespected him or nothing, but like, I don't have to ruin his day.
Exactly.
And that's something that I'm working on. That I try to see my life from a third person view. The interaction that I'm having right now, like, is this the best? Am I doing the best? Am I making this person feel the best? Whoever it is. And if I'm not, is there a justified reason? More than likely, there's not. Even though I can justify anything in my head, which is kind of like the scariest thing, for like being an entrepreneur, being a salesman, being able to say like, yo, these bolts, they're the fucking greatest thing ever. When you don't even need to have this on your car. Your car is going to run. Your car can even get in magazines. It can get featured everywhere and not have one of our products. So I can show you the value of something. I can flip that around in my head. Just like I was saying about, I work so fucking hard. If I want to fucking smoke, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. My bills are taken care of. My family's everything's taken care of. I can justify it. But I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
The things that I'm trying to justify are not things that I should have in my life. This friend that I have, like, I'm looking at all the positive things, all the good times, but not looking at the overall picture. Like, what is this person even bringing to my life? When I go to them like, yo, dude, check this out. I got this new product. Bro, no one's going to buy that shit. Why are you going to sell? You're going to waste money on that? No one's even going to buy that. Make me second guess myself. Like, I know what I like. I know what I want, and I know what's gonna sell. I'm showing you because I'm excited.
Right.
Like, yo, check this out. I'm not looking for your approval on it. If you don't think it's gonna sell or nothing, like, okay, well, where's your expertise in that? And do you have your own business? Have you sold anything before? Like, switch it around. Like, when someone shows me something, like, I try my hardest to see what they see in it and to be like, yeah, I see it from your point of view. Now, was that something I would sell? No, but I'm not selling it. This is you. You're stoked in this. And I'm not going to shit on whatever it is that you're coming up with. So anybody that makes me feel that way is like, dial it back.
Yeah.
But then when you do those sort of things, you realize that, like, man, there's not that many people around anymore. You ever feel that?
Dude. This.
Before you get on, are you hot? You want
I'm
me
good.
to turn that? You're cool?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So every Thursday I go, I talk to my mentor every Thursday. Well, Wednesdays we do business sessions, and then Thursdays we do, personal. The first thing I did, because we actually were like in an outside environment, nature, whatever, people around, so it feels great. He was sitting down on the table, and I go and I sit down. I didn't say anything. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and I looked at him, and I'm like, I feel like I got nobody, because when you start diving into this whole spiritual shit, wanting to become better, stuff like that, there's very, very, very few people that are awake. I just saw The Matrix last week.
For the first time?
I saw it when I was like a little kid.
Got you.
But I feel like, yeah,
That
for
shit
the first
fucking blew
time,
your mind?
dude, he's Morpheus. Just put it that way, you know. And it's that fucking movie is spot on.
Yeah.
Everybody's living in the Matrix. There's very few people that just get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and just like Neo, he it's like, that's what I mean about that opening up that box. It's like once you get out of the Matrix, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
It's very hard, you know, or sometimes you just can't go back to the Matrix. Some people, they go back because they don't consciously remind themselves every day, like, hey, I gotta be better. I gotta be good. You know, they fall into like this whole trap of, I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't work out today. You know, and then it ends up being like, I didn't work out 2 weeks, like whatever. Just like, just
It was a bad year.
Yeah,
COVID.
exactly. So, yeah, The Matrix was a hell of a movie, and it really opened up my eyes. And it's very few people at the top.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not to say that it's lonely. It's just very few people. But as long as you got yourself, you're straight.
Yeah.
You're straight. Well, you know, yourself, you got a family now. Congrats on your daughter.
Thank you, man. I
You know, you got
appreciate
your son and stuff
Thank
like
you.
that. A good team. But for those that aren't there yet, just remind yourself that you'll get there.
it. Yeah.
You know, you just got to put in the work. And when I mean work on yourself. You got to put in the work, and you're going to, the universe is going to bless you and send you the right people. Sometimes you're going to come across the people that aren't supposed to be in your life, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that like some people come into your life literally for an experience or a lesson or just because, you know, and that's like, don't be hard on yourself, you know. Remind yourself every single day, be gentle with yourself, because we're all human beings. There's a lot of lost and confused people in the world. A lot. You know, the people who are awake, the people who are evolving, it's just very few.
Yeah.
And with those people that are lost and confused, once you understand that, you kind of just have empathy for them, you know, and you understand where they're at.
Yeah. I think something that you said resonates with me a lot is don't be hard on yourself. You know, my wife tells me that all the time. It's hard, dude. It's very hard.
Of course.
Because no matter how it looks on the outside, no matter what anybody says, oh, you're doing this, you're killing this, you're doing this, you're doing that. I know what I'm doing, and I know where I want to be or what I want, and I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard not to be hard on myself. You know, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And it's just, that's kind of one of the struggles that I'm dealing with is why am I not doing 2 podcasts a week again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why haven't I moved in to different markets?
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't I done more with the skating stuff? You know, and just looking at it not from everybody else's perspective, but from my perspective. Like, why aren't you at this certain level? You know, and it's hard, dude, because like the content that I consume, everybody is doing better than me. Let's say financially, on a financial exposure, you know, business level, because I don't know how they are person to person.
Right.
I don't know how, you know, and I don't want to be these people because they're happier than I am. I just want what I have just to keep growing, you know, and sometimes I want it to grow at a faster level than it is. And I'm the one steering the ship. So realistically, however big this grows is on me, good or bad. Then I have to take a step back, dude. Like, really take a step back. Like, all the way to my home base, you know, and just like looking at the foundation of what I've built. And it's not even something that I've dreamed of, because when I was younger, I never even dreamed of what I have right now. Like, that wasn't even my main level. You know, like I couldn't even fathom that this would be the life that I'm living. And I need to give that more attention than I'm being hard on myself, you know. And I'm still trying to navigate around that, because, you know, a lot of times I say stuff, even on the podcast, everything I say, sometimes I say it to be a reminder to myself. I'll post things, and maybe from the outside looking in, you think like, oh, this guy has it all put together. But a lot of the things that I'll post is just so I can remind myself, like, you know, give yourself a little props, you know, like focus on the victories that you have right now, rather than, you know, the battles that you haven't won. You know, we've come out with some stuff and was so excited for it to come out, and like it didn't do as well as I wanted it to do, and that bothers me. But if you were telling me that, I would tell you, dude, it's not in that, it's in the journey. You created something that you thought of, you actually made it come to life, and now people that you don't even know around the world have that thing. Like, that's an accomplishment. Whether it's 5 people or 500 people, that's an accomplishment. But I could tell you that all day, you're still going to feel the way that you feel. I'm still going to feel the same way that I feel. Like, fuck, that wasn't a success. But I have to change in my mind what a success really is. Is the success like everybody in the world is talking about this, or is a success I have this picture in my head and I created the reality, and now, you know, it's going to do whatever it's going to do. You know, maybe 100 people listen to this pod, maybe 100,000 people will listen to it. Does that mean that the 100 people that heard it, that it wasn't a good podcast? Or the 100,000 people, they just haven't found it yet, and they haven't received it yet? Do these channels that their podcasts reach 100,000 views within a week? Does that mean that the conversation that they're having is better? Like, what is it? You know, and that's like that internal battle that I'm having with myself all the time. And I'm so glad to have my wife around to like ground me. Like, don't worry about them. What does it matter? Like, they're making more money. Like, dude, you have money. What do you want to fucking buy? You know, you have the fucking house, the cars. What do you want? You know, there's literally nothing that I'm thinking about that I'm like, oh, I can't wait till one day. Like, I always talk about like my Lambo. Like, it's not even that it's out of reach. It's just, do I want to put that on my plate right now or not? You know, so it's within reach. So everything that I want is within reach, but there's still that person inside of me, the person that made me who I am today, that person that's hungry. Now, before, when I first started, I was able to justify it because I didn't have anything.
Right.
Now I have everything, and I'm still living like I was that person. Like, when am I gonna stop and smell the roses? You know, and that's my battle that I'm still dealing with.
And that's what I kind of came into peace with. So I tell you, first of all, you've inspired me with some of the stuff that you've posted, and I've seen how like you've just been on a roll with that.
Thank you.
You know, and that was my problem. My problem was that we both have that hustle, right? We're like bulls fucking when we go crazy, we go crazy. We want, we want this, we want that. Let's build this, blah, blah, blah. But you got to be conscious, man. You got to take the bull by the horn sometimes. You got to be present. Everything in life is about balance. I wanted this, and that, like fast, but at what expense?
Yeah.
We can do all that. We can become super, super successful. Easy, right? But at what expense? Expense of sacrificing your relationship with your kids, with the people that care the most about you.
Yeah.
Your health. Bro, if you don't got good health, $1 million in the bank isn't going to save you. So you have, for example, for myself, I had 5 cups and I'm pouring water into each of them like that. What's faster? Pour water in the first cup, focus on that one and build that up, and then move on to the next one, or continue doing this and see everything. And because I see everything progressing like in such a small amount of time, it's like I feel like, fuck, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not successful because I'm not seeing the progress in this. But again, take a step back, look at the things that really, 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 bring the most success, and focus on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was me. I opened up a wrap shop 2 years ago, and I built that up. I built a name for itself. It's called Next Level Wraps, and I was basically absent 2 years at Action Clutch. And when I started seeing my mentor, we started going back and forth on the wrap shop, on Action. And then after, my dad also felt some kind of way too, because I basically left him, and the whole thing with my dad was, my dad knows what he enjoys, what he wants to do is just build. That's his shit. He doesn't, this whole computer stuff, 21st century marketing, branding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's out the door for him. That's why we make a great team. I always say he's the heart, I'm the brains. So I know he felt some way that I kind of like left him. But again, this was me being ambitious and wanting to start another business and be successful and make this money and blah, blah, blah. I started the wrap shop, started blowing up. And towards the end, I wasn't happy. Every time I would think about the wrap shop, I would instantly get irritated. I would instantly just be like, fuck, And I closed it down for like about 2-3 months in 2020. And I opened it again. Now it's under management, under a new person. Mm-hmm. So they're managing it, and we just did like profit share. But the amount that I spent, so I went back to Action, obviously, And throughout the whole time, like those 2 years, I was just like kind of just overseeing Action, but there's nothing like just being at your business and knowing exactly what's going on. But the amount of time that I spent away from Action, and the amount of time that it took for us to blow up again was like 3-4 months. Mm-hmm. So that helped me. That was a testament for me to be gentle with myself, because you know what you're capable of doing. It's just a matter of just turning up the knob.
Yeah.
And you just got to grab the bull by the horns, man. You have what you want. Is having more going to make you happy? Is more money going to make you happy? Just, just take a step back and really try to be present.
Yeah.
There's nothing like just being present. Our minds are different. You know, like our minds are built to create. You know, because I'm always wanting to create. You know, I'm always wanting to create. Like, you know, I love writing poetry. I'm able to create whatever I want to create now outside of work, the automotive stuff. And I want to do that because that inspires people, right? But everything all in balance. You know, I have a clothing line called, it hasn't launched yet, but it's going to launch hopefully before I turn 27.
Mm-hmm.
It's called 26. The whole idea behind that was because when I turned 26, that's when, well, the pandemic was here before that, but throughout my whole age of 26, I went through, like I said in the beginning, I went through a breakup, hardships, success, a whole rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to design things that are relevant to what I'm feeling at the moment. So if you're wearing obviously some cool shit, you know, but if you're wearing that shirt and I see you wearing that shirt, you're wearing part of my life. You know, you're wearing part of my journey, and it's an honor for people to wear part of your journey.
Yeah.
So because anybody can go out and create cool shit. Everybody could go out and create a nice design and put it on a Gildan tee or whatever, right? But I'm like, you know what? Let me take a different approach. Let me cater to a smaller demographic of people that are just more that would appreciate this a little bit more. You know, so like I went out of my way to find some t-shirts that are made like in Portugal. The fabric is like amazing. We have a DTG printer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we're working with some designer from South Africa to design these kind of like subliminal designs. You know, like I met some like the first design that's confirmed already is some waves and green eyes, and that came from me meeting a girl with beautiful green eyes. It was an encounter. Like I know her now, but you know, there's nothing there or any of that. It's just it was that encounter of the story that both her and I shared with each other, and that inspired me because the ocean basically teaches her how to like she surfs, right? So like when she wipes out, the ocean, the waves, they teach her how to like get back up and try it again. And so she applies that to her own life. And I feel like, shit, your eyes are beautiful as fuck. And that story was hella inspiring.
Yeah.
So that inspired me to do that design. And so it's those type of situations and encounters and emotions and shit like that I want to create and put onto t-shirts, you know, so they can wear that. It's a passion project. It's not something that like I'm over here breaking my head and getting stressed out about and stuff like that, because again, I believe in balance. I believe that if I put we go back to the cups, right? I believe that if I water this cup fully to its, you know, to the top, and then go on to the next cup and then the next cup, that's how I'm going to build true success. And I'm looking at the long-term game. You know, I'm trying to generate wealth. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm trying to generate wealth. And that's why I invest all my money into crypto.
Oh, shit. We got there.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's I read something that really impacted me. It said the poor spend their money, the middle class save their money, and then the what's above the middle class, the 1%,
yeah.
the wealthy or whatever, invest their money. And I started, investing like about 2 years ago. And then like in property, like about 3-4 years ago.
Nice.
And so, dude, it's legit. What they're saying, it's legit. If you want to generate wealth, get your money, invest it, and you'll see in 4 or 5 years how much that's worth, how much that property is worth now. So.
All right, boys, we're going to take another break for our sponsor, Automotive. Piecing together a few...
Should I do that voice, guys, or should I just leave my regular voice? My regular voice is kind of like nasally, but I think everybody's used to it. But I could do like
the announcer from 1921 baseball.
Let's just do my regular voice. Piecing together a fuel system for your build can be a difficult task. Luckily, Automotive has your back with everything that you need, from replacement fuel pumps to fuel systems that will support up to 3,000 horsepower. That's like pretty much all my cars put together times 2. Automotive engineers have developed a solution for your build regardless of the power level. If you're looking to make a switch over E85, they have all the parts that you need to build a system to be there when you need it the most. If you need a custom fuel system for your daily that turned into a project car, no problem. You can check out their brushless pump line. This is their new quieter pumps. They make less heat, last longer than traditional brush motor pumps, and these range from the original A1000 all the way up to 10 gallons per minute for 3,000 plus horsepower. Or one of them that I'm gonna get for our new project that you guys don't know about is the Stealth 340. This is the top selling replacement fuel pump. It fits most factory fuel tanks, and it supports high horsepower builds, 700 EFI setup, or 1,000 horsepower for a carburetor. I got a carburetor. Wait, no, I don't have a carburetor anymore. I have a fuel injection carburetor thing that I'm not even happy with it, guys. So if anybody wants to sponsor the Chevelle with something better than that, please let me know. So guys, if you do have a system, say you're building something crazy, say your daily turned into if your daily turned into your build, and you're just like, man, I don't even know what I need, but I just know I need Automotive. You got to hit up the customization shop and just let them know what you need, and they'll map it out for you. Whether you got a race car, boat, heavy equipment, drones, whatever you need, man, they'll take care of you. And if you're like Pro Drifter Matt Field, where you're just like, yo, I have everything, I'm on downtime right now, can you run through it all? Can you rebuild this? Can you rebuild that? Can you flush this? Can you flush that? You just hit them up for their rebuild program, and they'll fix everything, get it all looking brand new, and then you put it in, go win some races, suck some titties, whatever. And yeah, guys, if you check them out on their website at aeromotiveinc.com, you can see everything that I talked about and more. And make sure you guys check them out on Instagram at Aeromotive. Yeah, and if you guys want to save 10%, make sure you guys use the code DTWD. Big shout out to Aeromotive, man. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to throw this Stealth 340 in my secret project that nobody knows about. So, guys, thank you for checking out the podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Big shout out to Dustin from Audio Tint Lab. Please go check him out, guys. Super hustler. And check us out on Instagram at Downtime with Downstar. Let us know who you would want to see on the podcast. We out.
Peace. Yeah.
So let's get into crypto, bro. Like, how do you feel about this week?
Dude, I bought more Bitcoin
At what?
at 55.
Oh, okay.
So when it dropped down, I bought Ethereum at 39. So when everything just dropped, I was like, fuck. But then again, if you understand all this crypto stuff, you understand this whole shit, and then too, like for me, I'm not doing it for the short term.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for long term. So I don't care if I bought it at 55. Long term, it's not going to be 55.
It's going to be worth 100 someday.
Yeah. So, for people that want to invest into crypto, I think you guys should really do your research, because all the people selling off right now are just retail investors that don't know what the fuck is going on and think that crypto's crashing.
Yeah.
Understand, do your research on the graphs do your research on the corrections, what a correction is, what support is, resistance, all that stuff, because it's going to help you maintain a peace of mind when you see Bitcoin make a 15-20% correction, and understand that there's a thing called market manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what I feel. I feel like Elon Musk is doing that.
Yeah.
The wealthy are buying that correction that just happened.
Yeah.
So, when it really comes down to it, we really don't know what the fuck is going on.
With anything.
Like, put everything aside, everything that we just spoke about. We really don't know what's going on with anything in the world.
So we're in a simulation.
Oh, shit. You want to go into that? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes, for example, dreams. Sometimes I really, really get deep into what dreams really are. Like, why do we dream this stuff? Like, is it past lives? Is it that you're in another life? And when you wake up from another dream of another dream?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
ooh, yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah, so, again, we just really don't know.
Well, this life, if this life was a dream, it's kind of tame to, like, my dream life, because that life's fucking crazy. That life's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's you, but in reality, man, and when it comes to life, I feel like, what do you think? Do you think people are in full control of what they can have in their life?
Well, sometimes things happen in my life that are unexplainable, that it makes me think that there's something else out there. And I'm not talking about like a god or anything like that. I'm thinking like, I felt like I hacked it, I feel like I made this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's from thinking about somebody and then they call. Like, I don't think of that as a coincidence. I think of that as like a power that I don't realize that I have. Making things happen, making all of this fucking happen. Like, how was it that I met this certain person, that since I met this person, that I was able to meet this person and then meet this person and then us gain a relationship and it turned into this and it turned into that. And it's like, how does that even happen?
Mm-hmm.
Was I able to like foresee it? Like, I need to talk to this person. I need to have a conversation with this person. Because sometimes I'll feel that, so is it a feeling that like another entity is giving me like, yo,
Ooh.
You need to reach out to this person. You need to go have a conversation with this person and see what that turns into. So it's like planting seeds. Am I listening? Why did I come up with this idea? Is this even me? I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's somebody that is controlling my simulation. Why did I just think of this idea? And why did I create whatever I just created? What was the reasoning for that? Was it me? Yeah, it was me. But who gave me that idea? Because if I had ideas like that all the time, then, I'd be fucking lit, dude.
Yeah.
It's like they come every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe it's that these people that are lit, maybe they're just more tapped into whatever that energy is, and they're just fucking getting these ideas all the time, and they're able to facilitate them better than I am.
Yep.
Because I'm better at facilitating these ideas than other people are. So I think of it as like a skill, and the skill is knowing when you need to plant that seed.
Mm-hmm.
knowing the people that you have to have those conversations with, having those conversations, kind of off subject, kind of not. My grandparents, if they didn't fuck at that right time to have my mom, and my mom and dad didn't fuck at that right time, that exact time, what if my dad would have nutted before he went to go hang out with my mom? I'm done. So when I become a grandfather, I'm gonna fucking trip out on my great grandkid, because the only reason that kid is there is because my mom, or me and my son's mom, decided to have sex at that very second. You know what I mean? So I think of all that stuff as like, if I talk to somebody, if I throw ideas at this person, and it's not even like a conscious thing, I just feel it inside of me. I felt it inside of me to hit you up and be like, hey, Eric, let's do another fucking pod. And I didn't think anything's gonna, but who knows where this is gonna go from here.
It's funny that you say that, because I've been thinking about it, and you hit me up.
Really?
Remember the very first time where I told you, I'm like, I told you, I'm like, fuck. I remember saying, I was like, damn, I wish one day, you can invite me on this podcast. Yeah. And then this time around, I was, because you told me, you got the whole thing going on again. And I was just like, it'd be interesting to go on it again as this like new person.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you hit me up. Or we were talking about it. You were like, I want to, let's try to get you on the pod again or something. And I'm like, yo. And ever since then, I've been thinking about it. And it's funny that you say that, because I believe it was you. It had to be you. You were giving me some advice about go to events.
Yes.
Get yourself out there and stuff like that. And for the short time of the whole, COVID stuff or whatever, I was doing that. Mm-hmm. And I've been meeting more people, and I saw you at the Turn 14
yes.
event and stuff like that I was like just fucking shitting it to go to, because I was, I went by myself, and I'm like, well, fuck, like, so I think about stuff like that, how like certain people play a role in your life, like us being here now. It's like we've developed that friendship, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like maybe after this, I go home, on my way home, I come up with some fucking idea, and it all stems back to, you.
Just a combo, just whatever.
Our combo being here in this room, so I feel like those type of relationships you should always water.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you get out of it.
Yeah. Just like in a business standpoint, right? Rywire. I remember Rywire ever since I've been in the Honda community. I used to talk to him, well, not talk to him, but interact with him on the forums. You're talking back 2007, 2008. We had an interaction, and it was like a negative interaction, because I come from wiring, because I worked at, stereo shop. I would do alarms and shit like that. So I had a certain knowledge, but he had a certain knowledge as well. And, I said something, and it just didn't rub him the right way. So it was a bad interaction on a forum, fucking, 2007, 2008, whatever, right? So right after that, I could have just been like, man, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, whatever, you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
So I remember I PM'd him after that. I was like, you know what, bro? I didn't mean to come off like that. Like, I think what you do is dope, and I love your brand or whatever. Oh, that's cool, bro. It's all good. We squashed it then. And I've told him this before, and probably that interaction just passed him, and he didn't even realize it, But if I would have just taken it like, you know what, fuck that guy, whatever, he's a dickhead, we wouldn't have had so many memories that we've had from 2008 to now. Like, I've been to Japan with him like 3 or 4 times. We've went to countless shows together. He's probably my closest friend in the industry, and I don't want to call him my industry friend because he's like really my friend. Like he's been my wedding and shit.
Nice.
You know? So it's just like those interactions that you could have with people. Like going back to what we were saying about like, you know, how much toxic shit is in the community. There's people in the community right now that we could be creating some dope ass memories with, but we're just not aligning. And maybe it's me. Maybe I didn't reach out at the certain time, you know, because it wasn't Ryan reaching out to me. It was me reaching out to him. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was me not reaching out to all these people, and maybe I could have relationships this way and that way and this way, you know. And then we were talking about like people copying my product. There's a company. It's called Santoro Motor Works, and they sell dress-up hardware for Harleys. Someone tagged me in their product like a few years back. I seen it, and this was already when I was making my evolution, right? And I'm just like, looks a lot like my product.
Yeah.
But it's not rocket science, you know. And if the reason I created this brand is because I come from the hot rod community, and they've been doing dress up hardware fucking forever, you know. So I just came in the Honda community. I'm like, well, you guys don't do that here? All right, well, we're gonna do it, you know.
Really?
So maybe, yeah.
Wow.
So maybe he had that same idea with Harleys. So we had interaction online, but it was a positive interaction. I shoot him a DM, hey bro, because I know what it costs to get these parts made, and I know how big our company is versus other companies. So I know, like, if a company's selling, you know, 50 clutches a year and you're selling 500, whatever it is, you're like, hey bro, I can give you those clutches for a better deal. So that's exactly what I did. Hey man, if you ever needed a supplier for your stuff, just let me know. Created a relationship, and we've done business ever since then. Because I didn't come at it like a dickhead. I didn't let my ego attack this person, so I could feel that joy for that moment. Now I have, you know, somebody in the Harley community. So if I have a buddy that has a Harley and he's like, yeah, dude, I don't know, I'm looking for this. Hey, bro, do you know anybody that you could point me in this direction? Oh, yeah, I got you. Because of all that relationship that we built. You know, so that's my train of thought now. I've seen this work so many times.
Yeah.
Why don't I just build relationships with everybody that I can?
Yep. And for those relationships that you try and it just doesn't work out, just move forward.
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just not the right time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really put in my mind is that it's not that the person's bad or the person's toxic or anything. It's just at the moment we're not aligning, and that's okay. You know, just move forward. Maybe later down this year or next year, you know, we'll revisit and see if we can spark that interest in the relationship again and go from there. So that has happened with one of like our fourth most it's happened with a couple people, you know, where it was like they couldn't do a buy-in, but now it's like they're moving a lot of product, where back then it was kind of like we had to push them, you know, but now it's like, okay, whatever it is that they went through, whatever growth that they went through, whatever, now they're able to buy a shit ton of product.
Yeah.
You know, so that's super important.
And that's why I like having these kind of conversations, because in our industry, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen at all. You know, I can't listen to another podcast in our industry that they just talk about things that, you know, isn't macho.
Right.
Like, you know, this shit that we're talking about isn't like the most macho manly thing, but what is manly?
Yeah.
You know, manly to me is different to other people. Manly to me is my family's good. My bills are paid. My credit is good. I'm good in every aspect, and I treat people right. My name is good. When my name comes up, it comes up with positivity.
Yeah.
That's manly to me.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in myself that I could tell you how I feel, my insecurities that I have, without worrying about you holding it against me. You can hold it against me all day. I hold it against me. There's nothing you can say about me that's going to make me feel bad about myself that I haven't thought about already. And if me having this brand, having all of this recognition around our community, if I can put my insecurities out there, show what I'm working on, and just be transparent, then maybe it'll give somebody else the inspiration to feel the same way, to make the changes in themselves, and to be the change that they want to see. And if I can be that person that they look to, not saying that I'm better than them, but just showing them, look, bro, I've been in that situation before. These are the changes that I made. Maybe that'll help you. You know, I tell my son all the time, you play video games, right? You think of life as a video game. I'm on level 36. You're on level 14. If you're playing a game and you're on level 36 and I'm on level 14, and you tell me, hey, on level 25, you're gonna see some crazy stuff, you want to go this sort of way, maybe you want to take that advice. You know, just at least just keep it in there. The least that I could do is just put this out there. And then if somebody could take something, just if one person can take something away from this podcast, this conversation was worth it. If somebody could listen to this and be like, you know what Erik said, I can apply that same way of thinking to my life. I don't have a business, but I do have a job that it's hard for me to go to work because, you know, I don't really like my job that much. So when I work 40 hours through the week, at the end of the week, I want to release. But am I releasing in a way that makes me happy? You know, maybe the way that I'm releasing, you know, doing drugs, partying, fucking bitches, whatever, maybe I can get that shot of dopamine in a different direction. Creating, going to the gym, having stimulating conversations, going to nature, spending time with whatever it is. You know, what I'm saying is you don't have to take the certain path that I'm on, but you can take things away from it because it can be. I listen to podcasts from 100 millionaires and I could still take things away from it. Not to turn my business into being $100 million business, but figuring out how they navigate and how they deal with situations, because they still deal with the same shit that I'm dealing with. Just on different levels. And that, I feel like that's one of my purposes. Like, this podcast is a purpose of mine, to have these conversations, to give a space to my guest to be able to talk about whatever they want to talk about, to let their hair down, you know, to get uncomfortable, because like, maybe there's something that you want to talk about, but you don't have anybody else to talk about it. I'm like, this is the spot, dude. You know, let's dig down. Let's dig deep. Why do you do this? Why do you feel like this? You know, why did you interact with people like this? Why did you make this person feel like this? And it's not me attacking, but it's more of me being curious. Like, let's dig into this a little bit. And dude, these conversations are amazing, man, and I love it.
Yeah, it serves as like a mirror, you know, and then after you reflect back on it, and you try to find what can make you better, you know, because this whole thing we call life is an infinite game, you know. Business is an infinite game. So if you feel like, oh, there's an end to this, of course, like when you die, but yeah. Like, for example, business. If you feel like there's an end to business, there isn't. You know, the pie is big enough for everybody to eat from. Yeah. You know, just stay in your own lane, focus on you, continue improving, continue trying to bring value to the people. You'll be straight. You know? Definitely. It's the way I see things.
So, minus your mentor, who are some people that you look to for like inspiration?
I like to Bad Bunny. He actually, he's given me the inspiration of becoming confident. I never used to like dress the way I dress now, because I always used to feel very self-conscious about it. Oh, what are people gonna think? What are people gonna say about me and stuff like that? But then I started really seeing how he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just doesn't, you know, and that really inspired me, you know. And you know, at first I tried dressing the way I want it, the way I feel like looks good on me and stuff like that, and just whatever I like. And I started with like, you know, the t-shirt, and I'm like, wait, do I look good? I mean, I don't know. And I went from there. I just went, okay, now I like those pants. I'm gonna buy those pants. You know, the shoes, I'm gonna buy those shoes. And from there on, I'm just like, now I just don't give a shit. You know, if I feel good, you know, if I look good, I feel good, you know. I go on Pinterest a lot for inspiration for creativity. I like to go on Pinterest a lot because it's just pages of different people that like to create. So I like going on Pinterest a lot. And I continue doing the same thing I've been doing for 9 years. Whenever I have a question or I don't know the answers to something, YouTube and Google.
There you go.
You know, that's, in today's day and age, that's really all you need.
Yeah.
You know, we can get into the whole education shit, but that's just a whole fucking different conversation, because same thing about like this whole drinking shit, right? How it's a social norm.
Yeah.
In the end, all this stuff is created because of money and greed.
Mm-hmm.
It all falls down to that shit. You know, same thing with school. It's all just a money game. You know, so I feel like those that, and I'm not talking down on school either, but school teaches you how to be an employee most of the time. And I don't think that's right. I feel like schooling should teach you how to be a badass. You know what I mean? And why the fuck do you have to go in debt? You know?
Yeah.
It's like I said, like that's a rabbit hole. You know, that can continue going and going and going. But yeah, that's the way I educate myself. Is Google, YouTube, and Pinterest.
Pinterest. I need to get more into that, because when I do go in, it's like inspiration central, bro.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have a hard time with inspiration, you know, so I think that would be an awesome hub.
Yeah, Pinterest. And there's nothing like wanting to create something and getting inspiration from the emotions and the feelings you're getting. So that's another thing that kind of helps me with maintaining my creative side.
Yeah.
Is like the feelings and the emotions I'm getting. That helps me a lot.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, definitely, man.
Oh, and Apple. Apple's another I like to see a lot of the commercials and see how they do things, because that's kind of like the direction I like to go with our stuff.
Got you. Yeah, I've seen the content that you guys have, man, and it's I talk about it on the pod all the time. The level of the content you guys are putting out, it's not needed. You know, it's for a clutch company, it's not needed. Mm-hmm. But you can tell that there's so much more into it that you're putting into it, and the only reason that you're putting into it is because like you're creative, and I love to see that, dude.
Yeah.
Like you were showing us the pictures and the camera you got, that stuff doesn't go unnoticed by people that notice that stuff, you know, and I'm sure that that's who you're doing it for.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and it's awesome, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, even you got your guy here, bro, for shooting, and I love that stuff because that's my thing. 100%. If Downstar was working where I didn't have to deal with it as much, like if I could step away more, I'd want to create. Mm-hmm. That's it. I just want to create. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I've kind of stepped away from like cars, because I've created it already. I've done it. I've went down this road before, and the only currency that we have is time.
Yeah.
So I'm spending more currency on this thing that I've done before. But what I really want to do is have a 3-camera setup, and I want to geek out for 4 hours editing a podcast, zooming in, switching cameras.
That's tight.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then it's like the other side of the coin is, once I put that out, is it going to be received? Are people going to notice the work that went into it? And in our community, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast, I feel like we create a lot of value that goes unnoticed.
Oh yeah, that's what I was telling Lupe.
Yeah.
Like, we shot an interview yesterday. We shot the interview, and I told him, I'm like, fuck, dude, like, what we just spoke about has a lot of value. But how do we distribute it so that people can see?
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. But
no, it's
yeah,
all good.
dude, like that's,
And then I get to that point, I talk about, things I've created, and I'm so excited to put it out, and it doesn't get received at all. And it doesn't, because the algorithms, so much shit.
Yes,
plus the community that I'm majority in, most of them don't think at that level, which is no disrespect to them. I've worked so hard to get to this point in my life, focusing on this one thing. Now, if I would have spent all of this energy focusing on building cars and, building engines and shit like that, then I would be successful in that zone, but I focused on, thinking about things differently from different point of views, and focusing on myself and growth and things like that. So, when I put out an episode, I wish that more people would hear it. More people would hear the things that we're talking about and would relate and comment, and then we could have a discussion, because then it would feel like I have a community.
Right.
And no matter how people look at the brand and think, like, I still don't feel like I have a community. Downstar does.
Yeah.
But me personally, I feel like I'm still throwing stuff out there, and it doesn't, people don't see the vision that's behind it. And that's kind of what I'm going towards, is finding out where my niche is.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the people that I need to be around, the people that I need to speak with? Where do I need to put this?
Yeah.
So people understand the value, because we're not even talking about cars.
Yeah.
It's not a car podcast.
Right.
So, but then I do, I appreciate the people that do listen, because I'll get those messages every once in a while. But guys listening, like, when you send those DMs, it's not something that okay, cool, thank you. Like, the DMs about the podcast, that means so much to me, because it's not like, oh man, hey, thank you for the product, man, it came out cool. Oh, you know what? Transaction is great. Like, I want this transaction to be great too. I took what you said from the podcast, and I related it to this part of my life. And I would love to talk to people to grow that network of people that are thinking at a different level, at a deeper level. And that's, I'm still trying to figure it out.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
I think you're going in the right direction with getting people who are actually evolving, because I feel like a lot of people want to do the same, but they just don't know.
Yeah.
They see a lot of the rich and famous, and they don't see normal people like us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like more people should start seeing and listening and paying attention to what we're doing, because we're just like, we're all equal.
Yeah.
But we're more relevant to them, because it might be a friend or something, or just an acquaintance that So I feel like you should really definitely focus on that, getting the people who are really truly doing the work and providing value.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, you know, in the industry, in the community, you have your people that are fast, but are they a shitty person?
Yeah.
You know, what are they doing to really help the community, the industry? Because to me, it's like they're just doing it for the profits.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like the value that you provide on this podcast has to be like some raw shit. You know, you don't want someone up here with this fucking ego and masculinity of like machismo and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because this whole machismo shit, dude, like, you guys got to get the fuck over that, you know? I have feelings. You have feelings. What's the matter with that? You know, how does that make you more of a bitch?
Yeah.
How? Like, it's a real question. You know, because I'm sad, or because like I'm hurt, or because something that you said hurt me, that makes me a bitch. Like, it doesn't make sense. It just shows how you're just insecure as fuck.
I mean, honestly, that's how I see it. I see that as, you know, yelling insecurity.
Yeah.
And it's I don't think that they see it as that, because if they have their ego, if they did see it from a different point of view, you're showing off your insecurities in the loudest way. Yeah. You know, I need to be better than this. I don't need to be better than anybody but myself. You're faster than me? That's dope, dog. Good job. You know, I understand that it's a sport, so you want to get faster. But like, I don't have to put you down to bring myself up. And that's just what it is all day, putting people down so they can bring themselves up.
Yeah.
But you're showing that you're low. And you're showing to everybody, the louder you are, the more you're shitting on somebody, is just showing how low you really feel. So you need to make this person feel as worse as possible so they could feel how you feel.
Yeah.
Bro, you're faster than me. That's all good, dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You have more money than me? Dude, that's dope. I will never, ever let another man give me money.
Yeah.
If dude came in right here and tried to give me $1,000, here, like, I'm good. You're not gonna sun me. I got $1,000. I'm good, bro. Don't even worry about it. You know, give it to somebody else. You know, and it's just that's how I see all that stuff, and I realize exactly what it is. It's just so much insecurities. I'm better than you. If you're better than me, you don't have to tell me you're better than me. It would just be known that you're better than me, and if you are, that's good. I really hope that your car is faster than mine, that it's cleaner than mine, that it's because you spend night and day working on that shit.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it in years. I have 2 builds that I haven't touched for over a year. I haven't driven these cars for over a year and a half. So I really hope that yours is in better condition, that yours is faster, that you're the fucking man.
Yeah.
Because my attention is in other places. My attention is in making myself feel like I'm the man to myself. And I'm my own worst critic. So you can say whatever you want. I feel even worse about myself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to build myself. And I wish that people would see it that way. Yo, my car is lower than yours. All right. That's cool, bro. Like, good for you. You know, and when you start breaking shit down to like the reason of why you do these things, it's a very uncomfortable place to be at, because then it questions your whole entire life. So since we're talking about that racing, like, why do you want to go faster? because I want to fucking be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're not ever gonna be number one. You're never, ever, ever gonna be number one. You know, even if you're number one in our community, that's a small community versus entire motorsports. Okay, and so you get to the pinnacle, or the fastest car in the world. Okay, now let's talk to this person at the grocery store. They're not even into cars.
Yeah.
What does your entire existence matter to this person?
Shit.
It doesn't matter anything. Because okay, you know, I'm not into golf. So whoever's the best fucking golfer, they do however many home runs. It's like, that's tight, dude. It doesn't mean anything to me. But you take the aspects that everybody wants in life. Everybody wants, you know, happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You see this person, you're like, dude, I don't know shit about golf, but this dude's fucking awesome. Every time I talk to this guy, he's interested in what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. He's not talking about, I got this PGA tour here. You know, it's like, all right, that's cool, but that really doesn't matter to me. Like, how do you make me feel as a person? And if you focus on like those aspects in our community, nobody really will make me feel better as a person. It'll make me feel worse.
Yep.
And I think that that's something that really needs to change. I don't know how to make that. How do you reach thousands of people who have that same mentality of, you know, they're showing their insecurities in this sort of way? Mm-hmm. From the events all the way down to everybody, to the racing, to the brackets, to the different classes, everything. Like, I'm not saying that there's no value in doing any of that, but like the two don't have to go together.
Right.
You can, like in drifting, right? If you're, I'm not that familiar with the community, but from what I do know, it's more of like, yo, we're just out here having fun. If your shit breaks here, you can use some of my shit. Let's just go have fun.
That's how it is.
They're still doing their sport, and to be honest, that sport is more recognized than drag racing is. You go to a Formula Drift event, you're like, God damn, there's TV here. There's these big screens. There's these announcers. Like, this is real motorsports. Like, why can't we have that over here? Well, because nobody's going to sponsor this whole event. You know, Monster's not going to sponsor this event when everybody in the community makes the community look like shit. Mm-hmm. Monster's not going to invest their money into this community when everybody's so toxic and negative. And it's just something that I don't think people understand, like at that level. So it's, you know, I wish you guys the best, but like, I can't be over there. And I'm not just saying the race community. I'm not just saying the Honda community. I'm just saying like kind of the automotive community as a whole. That's kind of the that's kind of the way that the norm is. Yeah. Even from back in the day, from muscle cars. You know, that's, you know, muscle cars versus imports. Yeah. You know, fuck your import. Fuck your muscle car. It's like, we're all, bro, we could all be out with our families right now. This is what we decide to do with our free time, to have fun. Having fun. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude. So the spot that I'm spending all of my energy, all of my free energy in, is still gonna be, bro, negatives outside the door. I deal with negative all the fucking time. You think when I'm gonna go you think I'm gonna go play basketball with my friends, that I'm gonna have a whole fucking crowd? Fuck you, you're fucking what? I'm not gonna play basketball no more, dude. I'm gonna go find something else to do. Yeah. And that's just the way that I see it.
And that's what most people have done. They've stepped away from the game. Yeah. You know? Us, we've focused our energy a lot into drifting. We're also focusing a lot of our energy into Porsche clutches. That's right. We've encountered quite a few Porsche people, and it's amazing people. You know, it's the community around the whole Porsche stuff it's definitely on the pipeline for sure.
I love it. Yeah, I see you doing a lot of work with Bisimoto.
Yeah, yeah. He's actually finishing up our Civic drag car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we're talking about this and it's like we're going out there to have fun and to continue testing our products.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can fucking drive a twin disc that I have no experience drag racing, there's no reason why this person that's been drag racing for 10 years is breaking the product. So it's one of those things where it's like we're going out having fun. We're going to focus on what we can improve. We're going to focus on new friction materials for our twin disc. Just, staying in our own lane.
Yeah.
And if whoever we race beats me and wants to say, yeah, we beat Action Clutch, I'm happy that you guys are better than us. Because, and you have our product, that's even better.
Yeah.
We're not going out there to beat our customers.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's all for R&D and to have fun, because it's fun. Who doesn't like adrenaline? That's why I've been drifting as well.
Oh,
Dude, I picked up a C6 Corvette.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm just getting into that shit too, and I fell in love with drifting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. So, I'm doing things that I love now, that I enjoy, but I'm trying new things out too. If I try something and I enjoy it and it brings me happiness, I'm gonna do it. I don't have a family, like, wife and kids and stuff like that. So I'm in a position where I can do that.
Yeah.
I can fall a couple times and pick myself up and I'll be good. But if there's some things, I'm at a point in life where if there's some things that I want to try, I'm going to try it out. None of this like, nah, I don't want to try it because whatever, it's like, nah, I'm doing me, focusing on me, and always trying to do the best for me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, dude. And I love having these conversations, and I always get afraid that it's going to come off in a bad way. I love everybody out there. For me, I have to do what makes me happy, and I have to make these changes in myself, and I can't be in a spot. I can't chill at the bar if I'm an alcoholic and I'm trying to be sober.
Right.
That's basically how it is.
Yeah.
I can't be in this in the mix with everything of so much toxicity and so much ego and pride and hating on people, when that's the exact things that I'm trying to take out of myself.
Exactly.
I got love for everybody, and I hope everybody does well. I love Hondas still. I'm not getting rid of my cars. I'm not moving on. I'm just focusing my energy in different places. And I hope it doesn't come off in any sort of way. It's just this is about me growing as a person.
Right.
And I know that you know exactly where I'm coming from. And I'm glad that I'm able to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. And I just, I want to leave this message for people, right? Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever difficulties, whatever hardships, breakups, failures, always remember that you need to be gentle with yourself. Always remember that you're human. Always remember that's going to pass you by. It's not about what's happening in the moment. It's about how you pick yourself up and how you recover. That's always the most important part. And that you want to recover and that you want to continue heading to the right direction, forward progress.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, really just take a step back, try to be present every single day, and just live your life how you want to live your life, not how people around you would want you to live your life.
Yeah.
So
I love it, bro. Eric, thank you for this combo, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So before we get out of here, dude, where can people find you at?
You guys can find us on www.actionclutch.com, and on our social, on Instagram, it's @actionclutch, and drop us an email. Sponsorships are always welcomed. sales@actionclutch.com.
And before we get out of here, dude, I really want to thank you for continuing to sponsor the show. It definitely means a lot to me to have you guys backing us. So we're like-minded, and I appreciate you understanding what I'm trying to build here.
Of course. I mean, I believe in it. Like I told you, whatever I believe in, I'm going to support always. So thank you for even allowing us to sponsor it too.
Hell yeah, dude. We're going to create something dope, man.
Yes,
and,
sir.
I appreciate your words too, dude. I'm going to take that to heart. Like I need to start living more in the moment, and stop being so hard on myself.
Be gentle.
Yeah, dude. Trying to. I'm a tough ass fool, dog. I'm fucking weak, guys.
The higher the sock, the tougher the floor. Or what?
Hell yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you, man. Thank you guys for listening. Please, guys, if you're listening to this, shoot me myself or shoot Eric a DM. Just let us know what you think about the convo. If anything that we say really does touch you, message us, share this to a friend. Like, growing the podcast isn't about a business. I already have a business. This is a passion project, and I just want this message to spread as wide as possible, and I want to be the change that I want to see. And we're trying, man. Yeah. So what would really help out is just you guys listening right now. So thank you guys once again for listening. This is Downtime with Downstar, episode 224, and we're out. Peace.
Later.